You have a long list of things to deal with. Check dry eye symptoms off with Refresh Relieva PF Extra Lubricant Eye Drops, offering an advanced formula to soothe and hydrate your dry eyes. Refresh Relieva PF Extra includes moisture-locking technology that prevents further irritation and gives you lasting relief. You deserve relief from your dry eye symptoms, and your eyes deserve extra. Find Refresh online or in the eye drop section at all major retailers. FSA and HSA eligible.
Hello to everybody who brings up something huge with 2 minutes left to go. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hi, everybody. If you're an intro skipper, I'm not mad at you. This one's short, though. It's only about 4 minutes. Skip about 4 minutes, you'll be right at the beginning of the call, but why not just listen to the 4-minute intro? Anyway, sign up at beautifulanonymous.com. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beautiful Anonymous, the show where we explore the human condition, one anonymous phone call at a time. My name's Chris Gethard. I'm very lucky to be your host. Very lucky to be here talking to you. Very lucky to bring to the world a phone call that fills me with glee and joy. And you're about to hear it. Before we get into that, I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been buying magazines at chrisgethard.bigcartel.com. The Beautiful Anonymous magazine was made for people who sign up at beautifulanonymous.com. I encourage you to do so. We make really great stuff. The episodes are ad-free. You get more time with each caller. You get follow-up calls with past callers. You get a secret phone number, all kinds of good reasons to sign up there. People have been buying the extras of the magazine that we put out. Thanks so much for doing so. It helped pay for the product. The whole project stopped the bleeding financially on that one, and it means the world to me that everybody has been enjoying it. I wanted to let everybody know as well, I'm doing some shows. I don't go out on the road anymore. Has anybody noticed? But I'm doing Burlington, Vermont in November. And also my variety show, That Show, hosted by Chris Gethard. I do it at UCB once a month. We're doing it this week. If you hear this, the week it's coming out. New York City, buy tickets. This is the first one to not sell out. Let's get those tickets sold. And if you're anywhere else, you can watch streaming. You can go to punchup.live/Chris Gethard for info on all that. Also want to announce we're taking July off, and then we're at That Show, we're bringing it to Jersey City in August. I'm going to bring it on home to Jersey, do it in a bigger venue, White Eagle Hall, and we're going really big. It's like a 400-seat venue. I want it to be a party. If you're a fan of the old Chris Gethard show, it's going to be co-hosted by Vacation Jason. I just got off a Zoom earlier today where with some of our artists, I connected them with people who do professional stunt rigging because they want to be flown throughout the venue on ropes. Like, we're going big. We're having fun with this show. Support That Show. It's the most fun I've had in comedy in a long time. And thanks so much, everybody. punchup.live/Chris Gethard for tickets to any of the shows out there. And the big one is Wednesday, the 25th. If you're hearing this when we put it out on the 24th, you still got time to grab a streaming ticket, grab an in-person ticket if you're in the New York tri-state area. Come hang out. A lot of joy. Music, comedy, laughing, joy, good times. Let's do it. Speaking of which, this caller that you're about to hear today, I think you could say this caller is unapologetic about their joy, unapologetic about who they are, about the activities they partake in, about the clothes they wear. Fascinating. The clothes alone could have been an hour. The talk of peeing alone could have been an hour. The talk of, there's like 6 different things that could have been the whole call. And it's some combination thereof. With 2 minutes left, the caller brings up something about their past where I go, wait, what? Are you bringing that up with 2 minutes left? And you can only imagine. It's joyous. It's delightful. It's got good energy. And it's someone who's just living on their terms in so many different ways. I love it. I think you're going to love it too. Enjoy it, everybody.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello?
Hi, is this Chris?
Speaking.
How are you?
I'm okay. I've had better weeks, but I'm all right, all things considered. How are you?
That's good. Pretty good. I've had a busy week.
Busy
like
how?
Extremely busy. I've been sewing a lot of clothes.
Is that what you do for your professional life?
No. It's what I do for fun, I guess. I mean, kind of. I am a fiber artist, so
You're a
it's not like
fiber artist.
Yeah. So I work with fibers. I spin yarn. I crochet. I knit. I sew. I do all sorts of stuff like that.
Fiber artist. That all of that tracks. When you've been selling clothes, is this something you do online? Is it something where you go and you set up at like
sewing clothes.
What's that? Sewing.
I have sewing.
Oh, I thought you said selling. Them. Sewing. You've been sewing clothes. No. So it ties into the fiber artistry.
Yeah. I've been making a bunch of medieval clothing.
Medieval clothing. Why medieval clothing?
Well, because I do medieval recreation, just like the caller you had like a year or two ago. I can't remember, but I do. I'm in the same organization, and I do medieval recreation, and we have a big event coming up next weekend. It starts, but it's 10 days long. It's a big, long event, so I'm getting a whole bunch of garb ready for me and also my friends because I have time.
So you, for historical organizations and or people who like to live as if it's medieval times, you make the clothes.
Yeah, I do make clothes. Yeah, I actually also like built a like Bronze Age loom as well, like with entirely hand tools. I cut down the trees.
You cut down the trees and made a loom?
Yeah.
So you make period accurate clothes with period accurate tools?
I haven't gotten to the point where I've been able to weave like a piece of fabric for making clothes with yet. I was a little more into, I find weaving be kind of boring because you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Building the loom was a nice puzzle. I liked that.
Andrea also has told me this. You didn't mention any of this during the pitch. When we were talking to Andrea, you didn't bring any of this up. This is the B story.
This is the B story, kind of, yeah. This is just like what I've been doing.
You chopped down trees and made a loom. How long does it take to build a loom?
Well, so I live where it gets really cold in the winter. So I chopped down the trees in the fall. And I got like the loom like half built before the snow came because it was like pretty late in the year that it arrived. But then it's here for like 6 months despite that. So I worked and like I was outside working, wearing like wool clothing that I had largely made. And not necessarily my medieval clothing, but also like I wear 18th century petticoats every day as my day-to-day wear. That does tie into what I wanted to talk about too.
Hold on. Wait, do you wear the petticoats because that's part of your job or just because you prefer to dress as if it's the 1700s?
I really like I think they did skirts right then. I really do. I think they did skirts like correct then. It's basically like their petticoats are like two aprons, like waist aprons sewn together on the side, and then you like tie one around your like back and then one around your front, and then it's a skirt. And there's like a slit on the side that you can put a pocket underneath of, and like the pocket's a separate like garment. And so I can like pack it like it's my purse and like wear it underneath all sorts of different skirts. But I think they did skirts right then, and I wear skirts every day. So and they always fit.
I'm obsessed with this.
I'm glad.
Does it take a long time to get ready in the morning?
No.
Did you grow up? Did you grow up wearing period specific clothing? And if not, when did you switch over to period specific clothing? So you used to just be in jeans and t-shirts like the rest of us?
No. Well, I've always been like, I mean, I went through a overalls and plaid phase in high school. Like, I just wore overalls and plaid shirts.
I love that.
But I was like 19, I think, maybe 20, living on my own, and I made my first one. And I wore it until it was full of holes. And then I started patching it. And now it is like it's an 18th century petticoat, but it's also like a battle skirt. Like it's full of political patches and stuff like that.
So it's not, so it's period specific in the sense of its construction and usage and wear, but you are not, you're not living like you're in you're not a historical reenactor. You just prefer the 18th century style of clothing, but you still have like progressive political patches on it. This is rad. They call you what?
They call that like wearing, they call it history bounding, where you like take elements from historical clothing and then wear it in a modern day context. And it's been something I've been doing for like 8 years.
I love it.
I eventually got into doing the medieval reenactment like 3 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Can I ask a personal question?
Yeah.
What is your dating life like? And in particular, have you ever been single and playing the field while wearing historically accurate clothing? Because I have to imagine when you go home with someone, there is the cliche of, okay, like the guy who doesn't know how to unhook a bra. And you might have had a partner who's going, how do I untie this bodice? What is this?
I don't wear bodices, but
I'm exaggerating for humor.
Mostly, I know, but I don't wear bodices. I don't wear many things that lace up. But just this, like untying the skirts, people are confused. But my dating life, I've been in a relationship since 2018, however long that is. I don't know time. So I've been in a relationship, but I was wearing, like, I'm pretty sure, very likely when I met my partner, I was wearing my now patch skirt. It wasn't patched yet, though. It was just a plain skirt.
There was a stretch of your life where you were going on first dates where some people were showing up and they were wearing stuff they bought at J. Crew, and then you walk in and look like you could be a blacksmith on some level.
Yeah, sure.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I the whole Like, actually, like, I went through my, like, slut phase while wearing historical clothing. So, I was also hooking up with people.
You were in your hookup phase while also in your historically accurate clothing phase? The Venn diagram of those things crossed over?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's so good.
It's the hookup phase is just a circle within the wearing historical clothing. Like, it's not that it crosses over, it's just within it.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's so funny to me. Sorry to take it to the immediate, most obvious question, but I figured we'll just get it out of the way.
No, it's good. I think that's a good question. Do you want to know why I wear skirts every day?
Why?
Because I have overactive bladder, and I need to pee like all the time. I just need to pee all the time. And if I'm wearing a floor length skirt, I can like squat like almost anywhere and pee.
So I'm so sorry to laugh because it's a serious thing.
No, it's funny though.
So a lot of this started not because of a dedication to historically accurate clothes, but because they allow you to just like quietly go piss behind a bush if you have to?
Yeah. Like, that's why I wear skirts all the time.
And you could wear modern skirts.
All the time. I could.
But these ones strike you as more comfortable.
These always fit. They always fit because you just tie them around your waist. So they like, a modern skirt might have like a button, like, like a solid waist or something. And I don't like elastic particularly. It eventually gives out. It wears out. But this just like, you just tie it around your waist and it always fits. And like I said, it gets really cold here in the winter. I just put on more layers. I just put on like 3-4 skirts. And it's like -40 outside, and I'm fine.
Where do you live that it gets to be -40 and snows 6 months of the year?
Do
you live at the North Pole?
Where do you think I live? No, I don't actually live that far north. I live...
Alaska?
No.
We've had a lot of Alaskan callers.
No.
Canada?
No. Yeah.
You're way up there in Canada.
No, I live in the middle of Canada, in the prairies. And in the prairies, we don't have water.
Wrapped in 5 skirts.
Yeah, we don't have like water to keep our temperature, so it gets up to like 40 degrees Celsius in the summer, and then gets down to -40 in the winter. So it's just insane weather changes throughout the year.
Those are big swings. A lot of people probably wonder. I mean, there have to be a lot of people who grew up where you lived who leave, and they just all want to move to San Diego as soon as they can.
Yeah, lots of people leave here. Like, I also wonder why I lived here, but then I remember that my great grandparents or my great great grandparents were given like land for nothing here, right? That's like why I'm here.
It's homesteaders, right? Isn't that what we used to call it?
Yeah.
So know the lineage of your family when it was like, hey, people who don't have much and want a chance to have some land of their own. We'll give it to you, but you have to go to a place where you're probably going to die if you try. And then they just don't die. Yeah,
like they came from like Bukovina, which is like it's a historical like area. It's I believe there's like a province in both, or a state, I don't know what they call them, in both Ukraine and Romania. That's Bukovina. It's like right on the border. and they came from there, which is like not that far from the Mediterranean. It's nice and warm. It doesn't get cold, or it gets cold, but it doesn't get you don't get snow for 6 months out of the year. And they came here, and I imagine lived in a sod house because there's no wood to build your houses with, and then eventually rock, stone houses.
Yeah,
And
that'll keep you in an area when you realize
not a
the
lot of
sacrifice
people
made.
live here. Yeah. Not a lot of people live here. I live in the biggest city in my province, but it's 300,000 people. And the province is the size of Texas. So and there's 1.1 million people who live in the entire province.
That's wild.
So no one lives here.
I mean, you're aware that that's a very specific way of living to this day, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, even though I don't live rurally, even our big city feels pretty rural.
Yeah. Are there other people? Is it popular where you are to kind of go back to old school clothing just because of the warmth it provides, the access to peeing it provides? You are sort of describing frontier clothing when you live in a frontier and have a family roots. No, most people, it's just no, Chris, most people just order shit online from Target like everybody else.
People wear down-filled winter coats, modern down-filled winter coats. I have a $300 down-filled winter coat that my mom bought me when I was 19 or 18 or something, I have a really nice North Face winter coat, but do I wear it? No. I wear the vintage fur coat I bought at the thrift store. That's what I wear in the winter.
You can tell that I'm delighted by you, right? You can tell this.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question that could be perceived as judgy, but I'm not judging at all. Sounds like you live in a place with almost no people, where it's probably hard to build and maintain a social life between the extreme temperatures, driving people indoors, and the lack of people around. What's this?
Yeah, that's why I do the medieval recreation, because that's my whole social group, right? All my friends are, and we hang out outside of it, and we go to the zoo together, or we just hang out in my friend's garage and sew clothes, or that's related to the medieval stuff usually. But yeah,
most of the medieval people that you hang with, are they people who do it for limited periods of time and then they pack up the axes and the furs and then they go back to, or are there other people who commit to it 24/7 like you do?
Well, I mean, I don't commit to the medieval stuff. I don't wear medieval clothing day to day.
Right.
Right now I'm wearing Bronze Age clothing. I don't just wear medieval clothing.
I got you. And I'm not trying to imply that you do. The last thing I'm trying to do is imply that it's constant medieval clothing. But because you've said that that's become the bulk of your social set, I'm wondering how many other people for whom it's a 7-day-a-week commitment.
Yeah, a lot of us wear our cloaks in the winter, our nice warm cloaks, because they are the warmest things we own. They're made out of wool. They're heavy often, and I actually don't own a cloak. But I did make 3 cloaks in the last 2 weeks. So,
For yourself or for others?
No, for other people. Actually, I own 2 cloaks, but one's a 1950, but they're both more 1950 cape cloaks.
And do you
So
get commissioned? People come to you and say, I want you to build me a cloak that's evocative of the 1940s or 1950s or 1910s.
I don't usually do anything that is newer than, I don't usually sew anything that is newer than the 18th century. I almost exclusively do what's called rectangular construction, and I don't like sewing with curves and stuff. It's not fun to me, and I don't like figure that out. But I mostly, when I sew clothes for other people, it is medieval clothing. I don't actually make a lot of money from my fiber art. It's just what I do.
How do you actually
Right now,
pay the bills?
Well, I'm on disability, so like
between that and the fiber art,
that's
you
how
get
I get
by.
Yeah, and then the fiber arts is like extra spending money here and there, right? Like, and also an activity to keep me busy. I have been actually making money recently by making or like blowing giant bubbles down by the river and like busking, and I've been making decent money with that.
I have to compliment your ability to say individual sentences that completely stop me in my goddamn tracks. Well done. We're going to pause right there. I'm not the only one, right? This caller has an ability to just drop things where I go, wait, what? It's happened so many times, and it's far from over, everybody. We'll be right back. I'm not big on trends, but I am big on clothes that feel good and last. It's why I keep going back to Quince. Their lightweight layers and high-quality staples have become my everyday essentials. I really genuinely love everything I've gotten from Quince. My wife shops at Quince all the time as well. And Quince has all sorts of things you want to wear, especially with the summer here. You're going to want to look at their organic cotton silk polos, European linen beach shorts, comfortable pants that work for everything from backyard hangs to nice dinners. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands because they work directly with top artisans. They cut out the middlemen. Therefore, Quince gets to give you luxury pieces without all the markups. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, which is so super important. If you start to look into the clothing industry, there's a lot of people who don't pay any attention to ethics or responsible manufacturing. And if you start to look at the impact that has on the world environmentally, on the workers that wind up in factories, you start to see that some of these things are horror shows. And the fact that Quince is out here doing things the right way, let's shout to the hilltops about that. On top of that, I wear Quince clothes. I think you should too. I feel good in them. I am often complimented in them. These clothes last longer than other clothes, and they come in at a price point that beats those other clothes that don't even last as long. Quince is doing it right, and I'm happy to let you know that. Stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/beautiful for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/beautiful. You'll get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/beautiful. So many people out here running businesses these days, and scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more, experts who are ready to help you take your business to the next level. I love this so much. I'm somebody who effectively runs my own business. I have like 4 full-time jobs at any given time, but effectively I sit here and I run a little business. And I'm telling you, I often need help, but it's stressful. It takes time. It takes money. Upwork is a one-stop shop. They're going to help you find, hire, and pay people out there, freelancers, connecting you with people who do great work and connecting you with the people who do the exact work you need in the moment. It's a win-win for you. It's a win-win for them. I love it. Upwork has more than 2 decades of experience with a simple and ambitious goal to pioneer a better way of working. Companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in the way they staff key projects and initiatives by accessing a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web development, AI, design, admin support, marketing, and more. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. There's no cost to join. So you register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a job post. You can even book a consultation. And from there, you connect with freelancers, ones that get you. And you can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes that entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry low fees. You can post a job today, hire someone tomorrow with Upwork. Visit Upwork.com right now. Post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com. Thanks to everybody who sponsors the show. Now let's get back to the phone call. I have to compliment your ability to say individual sentences that completely stop me in my goddamn tracks. Well done. To just already
You're welcome.
To be this deep in on medieval clothing and Bronze Age looms, and then you also go, I've also lately been picking up money by blowing giant bubbles down by the river.
Yeah, last night was like the perfect condition for blowing bubbles. Like the humidity was up. It had we had a storm in the early evening at 5, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. We had a big storm that came through that had hail and stuff in it, but not a lot, but just a little bit of hail. And then the temperature just drastically dropped from that. And the humidity was up. And there was no wind after it. And those are just perfect bubble blowing conditions. So I made some huge bubbles. Huge.
I've seen these big bubble people. You one of these people who has a broomstick with a piece of fabric on the end. You dip the whole piece of fabric in and swing the broomstick around. Yeah,
so I use sticks that I cut off of trees in my backyard. But yes,
leftover from the loom. You got leftover sticks from the Bronze Age loom. You make them into bubble makers.
They're not leftover sticks. They are they're trees that were growing where I didn't want them to be growing, and then cut them, but then they keep trying to grow. So they're just kind of my stick harvesting trees. So I go to them when I need sticks.
I love this. I do want to.
And I often need sticks.
You sound like someone you probably have more need for sticks in your life than I have in mine. It sounds like.
Probably.
I have to ask. You mentioned that you collect disability. Is that because of the overactive bladder?
No, I literally found about, no, it's not that. I have an immune disorder that makes me allergic to everything as well. So, no, I found out just 2 days ago that I have overactive bladder. Obviously I've known that I pee a lot my whole life. But I didn't know that it was a thing, and a thing that I could get physical therapy for and stuff like that. So right now I'm working on, or I don't know if I can yet, but there's a potential of getting some sort of treatment for it. There's a few things that they can that you can do, and physical therapy is a big thing. But I found out 2 days ago, and that's actually why I was calling, was to talk about the peeing.
You were calling just to talk about the peeing, but then we got so sidetracked by the medieval loom and the bubble blowing. This is miraculous.
So My life just feels like a series of moments in between taking a piss. Like it just does. Like I just pee all the time. And like I cannot stress enough, like I go down to the river and I like blow bubbles for like 2-3 hours. And by the time I'm leaving, I have to pee so bad. And there's like a washroom that's only open till 8:00 down there. And like, if I use it, that's good. But like after that, it's not. So I have to find creative ways to pee on my way home. Cause it's like walking, like I walk to downtown from my house. So like it's walking downtown, but like I have like on my way home, I have a pee spot that like I have a hard time passing it without peeing.
You've now given yourself like a
home.
Pavlovian pee response because you pee so often in the spot.
Well, and that's part of overactive bladder syndrome is that there's triggers for it, like a spot or like if I just walk into my bathroom, I all of a sudden have to go pee. Like it's just even if I'm going in there to like wash my hands or something. Like it's just that's something about overactive bladder syndrome.
Is there a frequency at which you officially have overactive bladder syndrome? Like, does a doctor tell you if you're peeing more than X times a day or X times an hour?
8.
8 times.
8 times a day, they say, and it could be like that's a good sign that you might 8 or more.
I'm doing that. I probably pee 5 to 6 times a day, I would imagine.
Yeah. And that's pretty normal. And like 8 is like also normal-ish. My cat jumped on me, if you wonder why I said Steve all of a sudden.
It's easy to giggle about, but I do want to say it sounds like a real annoying pain in the ass to just constantly have to pee.
Oh, it is a pain in my ass. But like how I I probably like have peed myself, like had full on accidents with that like 3 times already this year or like within the last year. Like it's something that I deal with like often, and that's like a full on like peeing myself, not just like dribbles or something, because that happens all the time. Like that's another thing about it is that like it's urgent. It's like all of a sudden I need to pee right now. And I had no idea I had to pee before right now.
There's
even like...
they've even what?
There's even like a specific trigger that they call key in the door syndrome, is that lots of people have accidents when they put their like key in the door and they're like needing to go pee and like doing a potty dance and trying to unlock their door, and then you have an accident. That's like super common. That's to the point that they call it, they have a name specifically for that trigger of peeing.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
And like I've done that my whole life. Like my parents installed like a number lock on our front door so that it was like easier for me to get inside.
Do you feel like some of your enjoyment of hanging out amongst other people who like to exist in previous eras is because I have to imagine that when you're spending like a weekend with medieval reenactors, that it's maybe a little bit more socially acceptable to just go pee behind a tree or in a pre-prescribed outdoor area because that's how they did it back then.
Well, and like, I mean, we have outhouses everywhere on the main site that we locally use. But at night, like I just pee like anywhere, basically. I mean, like out of the way, but like anywhere. And it's great because I can just pee anywhere. Yeah, it's great. Because like if I have any alcohol, I gotta pee like a million times. Like it's worse than like just the average person being drunk, right? Like you have something and then like have any alcohol and you just gotta pee a lot. I don't drink that much though, but if I do,
I have to imagine there's some self-fulfilling side of this too, where just needing to think about peeing this much must also lead someone. Like, we're right now talking so much about peeing. I have to pee. I don't think I'd have to pee this
Yeah.
bad if we weren't relentlessly talking about it. And I have to imagine that your life is
Yeah.
one where you're always monitoring where the bathrooms are and thinking about it. And when it's top of mind,
Yeah.
it kind of summons it in a way.
And like, I've peed in some pretty wild spots because of
where?
it, right? Like,
Where are we talking here?
I've peed in like back alleys in cities all over Europe. And like, I've also peed in like parks. Like, one memorable is I was on a Sound of Music tour in Salzburg, and we were like riding bikes. It was a bike tour, and I had to go pee so bad. And we were like in front of one of the houses that was used as like the Von Trapp family house in the movie. And there was like a park not too far away. And like, as like we were doing like the tourist thing, I like whispered to one other person who was on there, and I was like, I have to pee so bad. And she's like, and like, I'm going to go to like just to that park over there and pee. And she's like, okay. And I just wanted to tell one person so that they didn't like not know where I was. But I'm also like the world's fastest peer. So I was gone for like a minute.
Just blasting piss all over the Von Trapp family house.
I mean, it was like around the corner, but yes.
Is it okay if I pause the clock and just go pee? I can't talk this much about peeing. I have to pee. Should we take a pee break? It's never happened in the history of the show.
Pee. I should.
Do you want to run and pee? I'm going to pause the clock. We're both going to go run and pee. I can't talk this much about peeing. I'm about to pee my pants. I'm so sorry. We're going to pause the clock here. We have 28 minutes left when we get back. Pee break. First official Beautiful Anonymous pee break.
Cool.
Be right back. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. We're back. I'm going to restart the clock.
Did you? All right.
I have to say, I feel like our show is known for being very intimate and connected, but there's a certain level of intimacy coming with the fact that I know that I'm in New Jersey and you're somewhere out on the tundras of middle Canada, and we've now urinated at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a bond we share now.
Yep.
Andrea also.
Yep.
Andrea said me too. Andrea also went and took that as an opportunity for a pee break.
Nice. I love it. I love that so much. Like, I'm like, people like know me, like, or people who know me know that I love to tell stories about peeing. Like, it's just like, just because it's like so much a big part of my life. I don't know how I didn't know I had overactive bladder syndrome before this, because like it just is a big part of my life. So,
is it hell for you every time it rains?
No.
Okay. Rain does make me pee more often.
I love the rain. Oh, interesting.
I was once driving in my car in Staten Island, I believe on the Staten Island Expressway, real busy highway. And it was raining really bad and I had to pee so bad. And I pulled over in the shoulder of the road under like an overpass, like a bridge, and jumped out and just peed on a highway with other cars going by.
Oh yeah, that's not a weird thing to me. Like a few of my medieval recreation friends and I drove last April, drove to Mexico, and then like back to Phoenix to do a medieval recreation event, and then came and drove back up here. And like road trip, like I have to pee so often. I'm kind of a pain to have on a road trip because of that.
I was also going to ask,
not too bad. You
said that you collect disability because you have a condition that leads to extreme allergies. Did I hear that right? I have to imagine that also, you've traveled a lot. I feel like Going to new areas and not knowing what kind of pollen is going to hit, it must be a nightmare every time.
Yeah, I got bronchitis when I was in Arizona because it was, did I say April? It was February. I don't know why I said April. Because it was February and it was rainy and things were blooming in the desert. And it's not things I'm used to. We have cactuses here. Like, I actually have native cactuses in my yard, but they're tiny. They're tiny little cactuses.
Okay.
And they have those, I was just blown away by the cactuses. Like, I love cactuses. I wanted to marry every single one I saw because I just love them so much. But yeah, I got bronchitis because of it. Because and I get it here in the spring too. Like I just kind of have chronic bronchitis because of it, and just comes back.
You just make your way through this world, pissing and coughing.
Yeah, I really do. And the two together is just means like all of my clothes have some pee on them, like all of them.
Did you just say all of your clothes have pee on them?
Yeah, just because like coughing and pissing, it just happens. It's just my life.
This is one of the best conversations I've ever had.
I'm glad.
Pissing and coughing and chopping down trees to make Bronze Age looms. Yeah. And wearing 18th century petticoats because it makes it easier to just pee wherever I want. Yeah, that's like a lot of my life. Yeah. I've like, yeah, it just is like, I mean, now like my friends have like a joke that is just like, when we go to pee, or like we're hanging out and someone needs to go pee, like we say we're going to the urination station. And like, because there's been just like, it came from a medieval recreation event where we were camping inside of a hall. Like, we were just camping inside, and me and my partner and two other people were just like snuggling on a bed. And at some point during that conversation, we established that the bed was a non-urination station. So now we like talk about non-urination stations and urination stations all the time. What are the aspects of your life that your overactive bladder affects in a profound way, outside of just having to stop and pee a lot? I sit here, I go, can you make it through an entire movie? Like, do you just not go to the movies? Does it affect like family meals? Do family meals get disrupted? Sex life? These are some of the questions I have. We'll pause there. These are some of the questions I have. The most neutral possible place to stop this show, where I listen and then ask people questions. Hey, we've got advertisers. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack sponsor. IQ Bar is the better for you, plant protein-based snacks made with brain-boosting nutrients to refuel, nourish, and satisfy hunger without the sugar crash. IQ Bar's plant protein bars are packed with high-quality ingredients. They help keep you physically and mentally fit. They've got 9 delicious flavors with the bars: mint chocolate chip, chocolate sea salt, banana nut, toasted coconut chip, lemon blueberry, peanut butter chip. There's over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting. More people than ever are starting their days on the right foot with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. I'm going to tell you very honestly that what I had for breakfast this morning was an IQ Bar. Yesterday morning and the morning before that and the morning before that, IQ bar. I've been starting every day off with an IQ bar. I find that it's the exact perfect size where I feel like I've had a good breakfast. My body feels full and ready to go. I know that I've got great nutrition to kick off the morning. And then on top of it, tastes good. And I just get right out the door. IQ bar is awesome. Also, IQ Mix, I have one every day, and my wife could not be a bigger fan of the IQ Joe coffees. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, text BEAUTIFUL to 64,000. That's BEAUTIFUL to 64000. Text BEAUTIFUL to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details. Shopping for glasses. I started around 8 years old, 9 years old. Third grade was when I got my first glasses. And I can tell you, my whole life, getting glasses has stressed me out. It's such an important thing. It defines how you see. It defines how you look. It can be so stressful. But Warby Parker has finally changed all that. And I love it. The ease right out of the gate. Whether it's eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, eye exams, Warby Parker has everything you need to get happier eyes. You can shop online, you can shop at home, you can go into the stores. There's 270 retail locations across the US and Canada. You can get styled in person by one of their friendly expert advisors. The product is quality, nothing but premium materials in each frame. Also, affordability. It's no joke. The amount of times that you sit here and you go, I'm about to spend so much money on glasses. Am I getting the right ones? Guess what? Warby Parker glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses with anti-reflective, scratch-resistant coatings. Many Warby Parker locations offer comprehensive eye exams starting at only $85. You can add a pair and save 15% when you purchase 2 or more prescription pairs of glasses or sunglasses. They're just taking an experience that can be stressful and saying, hey, it doesn't have to be. It can be a better product for less money in a process that takes care of you more. Oh, and by the way, free shipping and 30-day returns. I use Warby Parker. I love their glasses and I love everything they've built. And again, I've spent a lifetime seeing how glasses purchases can be stressful. They stepped in and said, let's make our business model that it's going to be better than that. And they're crushing it. Thank you to Warby Parker for doing that. Warby Parker has over 270 locations to help you find your next pair of glasses. You can also head over to warbyparker.com/beautiful right now. Try on any pair virtually. That's warbyparker.com/beautiful. warbyparker.com/beautiful. Thanks again to all of our advertisers. Now let's finish off the phone call. Can you make it through an entire movie? Like, do you just not go to the movies? Does it affect, like, family meals? Do family meals get disrupted? Sex life? These are some of the questions I have.
So, like, I usually can usually make it through a movie, but, like, I pee before the movie. And I have to go really bad by the end of the movie.
Okay.
But I can usually make it through a movie.
You can make it through a movie. It might affect your ability to totally enjoy the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
I can get wiggly because of it. I don't leave my house that often. Like, I've traveled a lot. Like, I backpacked across Europe by myself when I was 19, which was interesting because I didn't even know how to take a public bus, because I had never done it before. But yeah. And I went on the road trip to Mexico, which was 40 hours of driving. And that's one direction, 40 hours, one direction.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then, like, I've been to Ecuador, and I've been to a few other places in the States. Like, I've been to Boston, and I've been to Dallas, and I've been to, and when I was 10, we drove to, it was actually the second time I drove to Mexico, because when I was 10, we went to Disneyland, but we went all the way we like when my mom grew up going to Disneyland and as a holiday. So, and her dad loved to go to Tijuana and buy hats and belts and stuff and bring them back and sell them to his friends. So that's like just, he loved to haggle with the street vendors there. So we did that when we were there. So we didn't drive across the border at that time. We like walked across the border. But it's the second time I've like gone from where I live in Canada to Mexico. Second time across the United States. And yeah, I've been also like all the way out to British Columbia and all the way out to Newfoundland. Like I've been all the way across Canada. I haven't been to the Maritimes yet, but all the way across Canada. So like I've done lots of traveling.
I love it.
But when I'm home, I don't leave my house that often.
So you only oscillate between sort of being a hermit in your home or being on legitimate adventures.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And like I camp a lot. Because like when you're camping, you can just see wherever. So that's not a bother. So I do camp. But I can only really do that in the summer. But yeah, I either do legitimate adventures or I stay in my house, basically.
That you are living a very unique, very specific life. And it's brought me so much joy to hear about it.
I'm glad. Yeah, I like to think I live a very unique life. Like I've always felt like a different than like most people around me. Like I've found more people who like fit in, like, or like that I fit in with, like, and like I don't feel weird around my friends. But like growing up, I felt very like weird and strange because I was wearing overalls and plaid shirts in high school. No one else was doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad. Some of us are meant to thrive as adults, not children. Some people find their place and their crew. I would say similarly. I spent a lot of my childhood sort of crawling out of my skin. And it was really, I would honestly say not until my late 20s, early 30s that I felt like I had actually settled into a life that I was much more comfortable with. And even then, I'm not always nailing it.
I enjoyed, like, I found friends in high school that I like fit in really well with. And like, I felt like good, like I felt good in high school, but like things have only gotten better since, like, really.
It's pretty remarkable how high school does that to a lot of us. If I was dressed to match the time period that you are dressed in today, what would I physically be wearing as a guy?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. So today, because I've been sewing, I just finished a Minoan skirt, which is like a wrap. It's a kilt, so which is a wrap skirt. Is like kilt is like an English word meaning wrap skirt. So like I just finished that. So I'm not really dressed in any particular time period, although the dress I'm wearing is based off of a different, like a Bronze Age shirt that was found in Scandinavia. I can't remember where, the Ekvikt girl shirt. And so my shirt is based off of a like Scandinavian Bronze Age find, and then my skirt that I'm wearing right now is based off of Minoan, which is a Bronze Age like it's island of Crete, so it's like Greece. So Bronze Age pre-Greece. But you'd be wearing, if you were dressed, let's go with Minoan because I don't know what a Scandinavian man would be wearing at that time. So let's go Minoan. You'd be wearing a skirt much like mine, except it would be much shorter. It would be like almost booty short length. Like we're talking shorts,
Yeah.
skirt. And then also, and possibly just that and like a loincloth under it. But you could also be wearing a tunic under that, which is just a simple T tunic, which is like literally you like, it's like two pieces of fabric where you like cut out the sides and like sew them together so that they look like the shape of like a t-shirt, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be wearing that, which would again be like, it would be like a long shirt. So it would be like a similar, like short length.
So there's a
and that's
lot
what
of
you'd
leg.
be wearing as
There's
a
a
Minoan.
lot of leg showing from this guy.
Yeah.
What about
And
footwear and
possibly
accessories?
like chest too. I don't know about footwear. I imagine they were wearing some sort of leather shoe.
Do you wear period specific footwear?
Pretty simple. My partner just made me and him and one of our friends who is amazing and helps us out all the time, pairs of shoes for our big event coming up. So I do have a pair of shoes now, but I don't.
On most days, you're just rocking.
day.
You're wearing Bronze Age skirts and petticoats, and then just what, like Adidas?
No, I wear barefoot shoes mostly. So I wear like different brands. I have like Vibram toe shoes, and then I have some other barefoot shoes, which aren't actually that different than like period accurate shoes, because like period accurate shoes are basically like just a thin sole and stuff like that too.
Got it.
Very similar, but like modern. I have in the past like worn like moccasins and stuff. Like I once took a lorazepam and then walked to a store and bought myself a pair of shoes and then had a nap. And when I woke up, I had a new pair of shoes that I did not remember getting. And they were moccasins, and I wore them until there was holes in the bottom.
So you'll wear shoes that are aesthetically accurate, if not totally historically accurate.
Yeah, like I would kind of like to get back into wearing leather shoes like all the time, because I really, really enjoy wearing leather shoes. Like I really enjoy wearing, like, I feel like, yeah, I just enjoy it. Like I'm a barefoot person, but I also, the world has sharp things outside, right? So you want to have like a layer of protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gets cold too.
Do any of the people
in the winter I wear boots?
Do any of the people that you hang out with learn medieval speaking patterns, languages, anything like this? How deep do we go?
Oh, yeah. Like people will do do skelding, I don't know. But it's like Norse like heraldry, basically Norse storytelling. It's and so some people will like go as far as like, usually they'll learn Icelandic, which is like pretty close to Old Norse. It's the closest modern language to Old Norse. But they'll like also learn the like poeticness of it as well. And like I know how to write in I know a little bit of Fufor.
Of what one?
Fufark. Fufork. It's the Anglo-Saxon rune. So it's when English was first becoming a thing, English was written both in the Latin alphabet and Stuthorc, which is, so I do, and like in the medieval reenactment, I do 7th century reenactment.
And is that a written language, or does it sound differently when you speak?
Or it's Old English.
Fluthlorc? It's all English?
It's Old English.
Old English. So how does
like,
Fluthlorc sound?
Well, Stuthorc is just like an alphabet. It's just like a different alphabet. It actually has more of the sounds we use in English in it than the Latin alphabet does. So you don't have to like there's a letter for the sound, like the TH sound. There's just one letter for that. And in English, we use the TH sound all the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense to have a thorn. Like my medieval, or like my 7th century name that I have has 2 thorns in it because I like thorns.
So you have a separate name.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I have a separate name for that. Like most people have separate names for it. But yeah. Yeah. I already have a strange name, so I gave myself a new name a few years ago. So
you did,
and it's
Did you change it legally?
I'm non-binary.
Okay.
No, it's not changed legally. I have I have my wallet name, and I have that name, and it's for things that I need to use my wallet name for, and it can just stay there. And then I changed my name because I came to realize that my given name was just a feminized version of my dad's name. My parents didn't realize this until after they named me. And then my middle name was my mom's name. So I was just Junior, and I didn't vibe with that anymore.
Yeah. So you switched it up.
Yeah. And I'm non-binary. So I have a very non-binary name now. So
keeping it in a very neutral place. Is that what that means?
Or non-binary people notoriously have they name themselves Rock or Raiden or things like that, where it's just these inanimate objects or animals or stuff like that, or that's just notoriously a thing. And I have a very non-binary name now.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. But I also have my medieval name.
You have your wallet name, your non-binary name, your medieval name.
Yeah. Yeah.
How often do you go by the medieval name? Is this just when you're amongst the people you're hanging out with in the medieval recreation world? Yeah, just at events and stuff. And most people know my the name I use every day, my non-binary name, right? Most people know that more than they know my medieval name, but they are learning now, and it's not easy to pronounce. It's not that difficult to pronounce. It's just not. There's a modern English name that that comes from it. But I want to know so bad, but the very premise of the show is that we stay anonymous, medieval or not, we stay anonymous around.
Yeah, exactly. No, you can't know my name, but it's just the modern name has D's in it, and the Old English name has thorns in it, which is a very common thing that happens because thorns kind of look like D's, so they actually have since the printing press, they turned into D's. It's ye, instead of D, is just a myth, because it was a thorn E, and then when the printing press came around, they started representing thorns with Y's for some reason, because the printing press was from the Netherlands, and they didn't have the same they were just using the Latin alphabet, and they didn't also have like some runes in their alphabet like we did in English at the time. And so they started representing it. So like ye is just a myth that doesn't exist. It's still the.
I really think that more and more throughout my lifetime, we've started to define ourselves by what we're nerdy about. Like being a nerd stopped being a bad thing years ago. And so many of us define ourselves by like, oh, what are you nerdy about? And that's sort of a way of saying like, what are you into and how does that represent who you are? And I have to say, the things you are nerdy about are so delightful. Just for you to be able to go off that much on the effect of Northern European printing presses on the English language due to printing shortcuts and not wanting to account for the full totality of the Old English alphabet. Unprompted. I didn't ask anything about that. That's just a place your brain goes to. Yeah. I love it.
It would have been Middle English, but yes.
Okay. I'm
sorry.
I could feel you rolling your eyes from Canada.
Well, yeah.
You had to stick it to me. Eyes. You had to stick it to me on the Middle English, Old English.
But you were, it's a thing that is like, I'm not the clearest on it, but that would have been Middle English. That's like the transition from Middle English to Modern English is right around that time, I believe. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, but.
You are delightfully into this, and I love it.
Yeah. For some reason, when you said about like it's more okay to be nerdy, it just reminded me how I found like my D&D group through Tinder.
So you went on that app looking for love, but instead you found a dungeon master.
Yeah.
Or a game master.
I did. Dungeon master. But yeah, I mean, we play D&D mostly, so dungeon master. But yeah, I did. And it's an interesting, like, and then me and him, like, me and him, like, just like gathered the rest of our group basically. So he brought a couple people in, and then I brought a couple people in. I brought someone I left a cult with in,
what?
You know,
we only have 2 minutes left. What do you mean left a cult with?
Yeah, I was like in a it was like ish culty. It was like right on the border, but when we left, they shunned us, which is very cult behavior. So they like, you know, we're very, very culty. But yeah, it was like at a new age store in town.
The cult was, or the D&D campaign? I'm all confused.
The cult.
So you went shopping for your candles, your essential oils, this type of stuff, and wound up sucked into a cult?
Yeah. I was looking for community, and I found it in the wrong place the first time. I've always been looking for community. I think I got it good in the medieval recreation group now, though.
How are you going to drop with 2.5 minutes left that you went to a new age store that was a front for a cult? How culty did it get? Were they arranging who you could live with and who you could sleep with? Like, what are some of the cult things?
Like, I did move in with another cult member.
Oh boy.
So, like, not really. Like, I started dating my partner when I was part of it, but that's maybe why they like kicked me out, because I was like, I'm pretty like, you know, I gotta be like, you know, you say Old English when it's actually Middle English, and I have to correct you, you know, like that's just how I am. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't go well with cults. And like, it's also, cults are a special interest of mine. Like, driving to Mexico, we stopped in, or like cults or in like religions, but like we stopped in, Salt Lake City, and it was the best thing ever because I got to see the temple and I got to see all that Mormon stuff, and it was so cool.
So you were in a cult? You met a D&D group on Tinder?
Yeah.
You're dressed in Bronze Age clothing and you piss too much.
Yeah, and I blow bubbles at the river while listening to Beautiful Anonymous in my ear.
Now, I also wanted to ask that you mentioned that you pick up money busking, but you also live in a city with no people. That sounds like a real uphill climb.
Well, like, we both feel like a big city here because we are the big city, and also like a small town. Like, everyone knows everyone. But also, we like pretend we're living in a big city at the same time. So like, I get a lot of people walk, like, our river is gorgeous. Like, it's absolutely stunning. And like, we have gorgeous bridges in town and stuff like that. So like, people walk on walk down by the river. So I just go down by the river where people walk in the evenings, and I make money busking.
I love it. Now, our time on the free feed is up. This has been an all-time classic. One of the most unique people I've ever talked to. I'm so glad we got the chance to talk to you. I want to say goodbye to everybody on the free feed. And reminder, everybody who has signed up at beautifulanonymous.com, you get even more with each caller, including this one.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, free feed.
Caller, thank you so much. Very legitimately, that call was one of my favorites. It was 10 different directions, and I never knew which one to follow the momentum of, and it speaks to your uniqueness and conversational abilities. Thank you. Thank you to our producer, Andrew Quinn. Thank you to Sheltshag for our theme music. Punchup.live/Chris Gethard if you want tickets to my shows, info on what I'm up to. We've got a voicemail line at 973-306-4676. We're on Instagram at Beautiful Anonymous Pod. Don't forget to join the Facebook group, Beautiful Anonymous, the community. And if you're not signed up yet, over at beautifulanonymous.com for the extra stuff each week. We're talking ad-free episodes. We're talking past callers return. We're talking secret numbers that only you get sometimes. It's a good time. Thanks so much, everybody. This week on Beautiful Anonymous Plus, here's some of what you'll get from the 5 questions.
We were like 12 or something, and we were on a set of bunk beds, and she had like braided hair, and she kept like hanging over the side of the bunk bed and like scaring me, because I said she looked like an evil clown because she was like backlit and stuff, which is hilarious because now I'm a clown and now I collect clowns and I love clown stuff, so it's kind of hilarious.
Did you say you are a clown now?
Yeah.
I cannot believe that we have talked about so many interesting things that we are all the way deep behind the paywall before you even mention that you also are a clown, but that I also am sitting here going like, honestly, yeah, that wouldn't be in my top 5 things either if I had all this other shit to talk about. Don't forget to sign up for Beautiful Anonymous Plus at beautifulanonymous.com.